general election spoke to a number of people, and made a very enduring impression, as he always does, with good sense he spoke. He warned us of various economic clouds ahead, and he turned out to be absolutely accurate on that, as he is with most of the warnings he issues. He's come there today, though, with a happy mission, and that is to open our innovation centre. He has a cause to pull behind him, which is too demanding task to ask. And I'd like to ask him to say a few words about what he's doing and also what's going on here. Please.
Thank you very much for inviting me to this event, and to John Pugh, your local MP, for his introduction. He's been singing your phrases for a very long time and made me promise I'd come here, so I'm here. I think there are several kind of boxes I'm ticking by doing this event. You know, big themes that you represent: apprenticeships, higher education and further education, and green skills. Let me just say a little bit about each of them. There's been a big upsurge in interest in apprenticeships over the last couple of years. I think finally we've got a concept that business and young people can coalesce around. You know, there is an acceptance now, I think, that Britain has fallen quite badly behind in terms of vocational education and skills. It was undervalued for many years. We developed almost a kind of apartheid system that if you were one of the 40% who went to university, that was fine, and the others, well, you know, didn't really matter all that much, and vocational skills were allowed to wither. I'm caricaturing a complicated story, but I think with apprenticeships, you've got something that has substance. Employers value it, young people now value it, and we in government, despite all the cuts I've had to make in my own department, we've managed to increase the support for apprenticeships. We've had over a 50% increase in the last couple of years. There's now 500,000 apprenticeships under training at various levels, and there's particular encouragement from what's happening with young people, and also for advanced apprenticeships at the other end of the scale. And I saw from the figures in your colleague, you've got 374 under training. I think 480 began this last academic year, and you've got a very, very high conversion rate. It's over 80% in terms of people who are welcome it, so that's fantastic. I think the other thing I felt very positive about was the way in which you are now bringing higher and further education together. It goes back to the point I made earlier about the danger that we had of a kind of a parallel between the two systems. One of the things I've been very keen to encourage is that in the reforms taking place in universities, we give much more freedom and opportunity for further education colleges to do university level degrees. There's a slightly complicated mechanism that will be familiar to all the administrators, but probably no one else, that we call the core margin policy. Universities are very highly regulated by central government in order to prevent them over-recruiting and overspending. There's a regime of what's called numbers control, which is a bit like the old Soviet Union. I hate the system. We're trying to gradually open it up and give more freedom to students and to colleges, but as long as we have to worry about financial control, it's difficult to open it completely. So what we've done in certain areas, we're giving more freedom, and if FE colleges can run university level courses, we want to encourage that and expand it. I know that's something that you're trying to do through this centre, and it's very positive. And the fact that you're able to work with local universities is a big bonus. And I think the final theme I would mention is that I know that a lot of the skill training that's done here is in order to prepare young people in particular for a new kind of economy, where there will be much more emphasis on environmental activities. There is something coming down the track called the Green Deal, where households and companies will get a big incentive to do conservation, energy conservation, for example. It's vital that we have the skills to be able to cope with that. So I think the emphasis you put on that in your skill training and apprenticeships is absolutely evident. So I'm, you know, for all those reasons, I mean, I'm absolutely delighted to be able to support what you